National Careers Week couldn't come at a better time. 40% of the jobs we have now are being automated. 65% of the jobs of the future are to be invented. And let's just throw one stat on the table that perhaps puts that in even starker relief, and that is that the vast majority of jobs in this country, probably about 90+%, are in SMEs. And those SMEs lack resources, so we can talk about job experience, we can talk about training. One of the things we've got to address is careers within the context of SMEs. Yep, I'm from Hull. I was born in North Hull, went to school in a school in North Hull, and was told when I was about 16 that I was a good lad and that it would be a good idea that I'd get a job for life in the local council and all would be well. I, that night, went to Hull Fair. A gypsy read my palm, and it was said that I would stay in Hull because I was a home bird. Since then, I went to St Andrews, went to Oxford. I'm a fellow at Durham University Business School. And I went into a career overseas, 30+ countries, in logistics, old money transport. Came back to my home city with our 3 daughters, who also went to the same school I was at, St Mary's in Hull. And today I launched, because I write poems and plays, it was my way of keeping out of the minibars when I was on the road overseas. And what happened was one thing led to another, and we started doing work in some of the pubs of Hull. These were rough bars in difficult areas, like the once fishing community. And one thing led to another, and I started working in schools because I was passionate, not just about those schools that are succeeding, but those schools that are having challenges. Today, the History Troupe, in the last 18 months, has worked with 21,000 people. I'm talking about those in the school, the students. I'm talking about those off the stage, our audience, and also our exhibitions. We're doing 3 things in schools. We're putting the arts in STEAM. I think, frankly, that is vital. I'll come on to that in 1 second. Hinterland is all about university entrance and employability. From my logistics background, we've got access to a lot of simulators, and we're taking them in to those people and those children who have no experience, either in their family or themselves, of work. So you've got to simulate that experience so that at least they're there. Now, where did I come to the zigzag of life? Great architect Le Corbusier once said that cities are designed by the zigzag of donkeys, and so too our careers. Back to that 40% going to be automated, 65% yet to be invented. If you go around employers and ask them, what is employability? You're probably going to hear a lot about self-confidence. You're going to hear an awful lot about critical thinking. You're going to hear an awful lot about creativity. You're going to hear an awful lot about problem solving, teamwork, and one key word, resilience. When you're speaking to students, it's almost unfair not to reference that a lot of us in this room will be redundant once in a while. Redundant out of a job, but redundant because the sector has changed and moved on. So if our careers don't give resilience, that ability to get yourself up off the tarmac or the canvas and go again, is not going to happen. So 3 things as I close. We're working with widening participation. That's our big focus. Summer schools. We started a summer school last year. We're struggling to find the funding for this coming year. And it's odd to me because free school meals is literally something that lasts into the summer. It doesn't stop at the term end. And that's one of the things that we addressed by launching the summer school. We've launched the medical academy at one of the high schools, St Mary's, because you can't just keep working with a hope. You've got to do something strategically. So the medical academy, from 0, we had 15 people applying for medical school last year, but a lot more on from that. So I leave you with one word, that educare. That surely is the inspiration for all of us. It's actually the root of the word education. And it doesn't mean qualifications, and it doesn't mean cramming. Educare means to bring out the best in all of us. And my plea is that widening participation has to be the fundamental in what we do. Because if we don't bring out the best in those areas most affected by automation, we are bringing out the worst in all of us. And we're seeing that on the streets, and we're seeing that in a lot of people's minds. It's such an exciting place to be, but we have to work harder to get the policymakers to put the money where their mouth often isn't.